Oh, I wasted some silver, but that's alright. I'm back on track. I like watching these little frigate battles now. Because they're fun and they're conclusive and they look cool. They're only starting to look cooler. You know, sometimes I think I don't need DLSS on this game. Right now we're pulling 70. I think I actually just need a reformat.
You receive loot. Oily black mouth.
I feel like the FOV is better on Classic. I don't know. They're about the same, really. I think now I heart to Ogremar once I turn this other one in. And I go and do the other quest, the other rogue quest, the Manor of the Ravenhold. Yeah, watching the drone fight the ship makes the combat way more interesting, but it's the only time I've ever felt like this combat was interesting. Oh, what's this?
You receive loot. Find sand. You loot 25 copper.
Hi, kitty. That's a real good kitty.
What brings you here? May the eternal sun shine on thee.
Ishara walk completed. Experience gained, 2,750. You receive item, Beastmaster's Girdle. You receive item, Branding Rod. You receive loot, Soul Dust.
Soul Dust is good.
You receive loot, Small Glimmering Shard.
Okay, and the good news is I think I can hearth out and save some time. I think, anyways. Yeah, the poison quest. In World of Warcraft Classic, what unlocks poisons? What quest? The Shattered Hand. Ambush. I could put that dagger in my main and just use that, but no, I don't think so. Ambush is a dagger ability, and I don't have a dagger in my main. That's another thing. So... no, I'll just use Thistle Tea to waste him. But where is the quest? It's... where is the tower? Tower north of Sludge Fen in the Barrens. Sludge Fen. Oh, I see. Okay, so... I'll go fly to the crossroads, I guess, would be the fastest thing to do. I have lots of stuff to send him. Nice, I didn't have a shirt and now I do.
You lose 17 copper. You receive loot. Calico belt. You receive loot. Linen cloths 2. You receive loot. Ice cold milk. You loot 23 copper. You receive loot. Oily black mouth. You receive loot. Strangle kelps 3.
Hi, kitty.
You receive loot. Strangle kelps 3.
3. Wow, I got 6 strangle kelp out of this thing.
You receive loot. Oily black mouth.
Get some good fish here. Make some money.
You receive loot. Oily black mouth.
Time to feed the kitty.
You receive loot. Tightly sealed trunk. You receive loot. Medium leather.
Ooh, good stuff.
You receive loot. Light leathers 2. You receive loot. Bolt of linen cloths 3. You loot 64 copper.
I'll have to swim. I just sprinted.
You receive loot, clean fish bones. You loot 54 copper.
No, if I rupture open him, it'll still kill him. Especially if I like bandage and use like. Hi, kitty. We're gonna feed you. I just had to get to safety here. So I'm on my way to do the rogue quest, I guess. It's a little shaky. I'd like to get another level, and I could, I suppose. But I got the 2 quests done, which is good. Yeah, I'm gonna feed you. No, we're gonna feed you. You ready? Yeah, you ready for your meal, kitty? Come on, kitty. We're gonna feed you. Okay, kitty, dinner time. Temperamental kitty is temperamental. Temperamental kitty. Maybe I should get water to her. There we are. That's a good kitty. Right there. That's a real good kitty. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna have a couple more sausages for dinner. Another cheap struggle meal. Spent me about $4 on meals today, which is good. It's a good day.
What's up?
Smart drinks and blue leaf tubers. Gotta get up north all the way to that stupid thing, but I'm ready to maybe stop doing this now.
what do you want? Glad I could help.
Oops. Well, I guess we could sell it. We could sell all that stuff, yeah. The banana, you can't send it? You seem like you're full of shit. Are you sure? Oh, maybe that's why. No, the banana's like glitch. I'm just gonna sell it. But not the banana. I don't know. I could just go grind. There's an inn in Camp Tarajo, yeah. Yeah, I think I'll get another level before I go up that tower, because it's just, like, asking for it. But poisons would be nice. Like, instant poison would be nice right now. It would make my damage much better. But getting up that fucking tower, I don't know. With this T, I could do it. I could just dump, like, another fucking... Oh, yes, oops. Oh, yeah, this symbol. It was in the mail. The mail. Social mail. They want me to use this symbol. I can and I will. It's kind of annoying, but I will. I'm gonna put some sriracha on these sausages. It's gonna be amazing. Yeah, do I go up north? I don't know. I could go up north all the way up there to Gallywix. I guess it's up the coast. Almost to Ogremar, but still probably easier this way. I think it's easier to go up the hill and around than it is to... Or no, maybe I can just follow the ocean and swim. Swimming might be easier, actually. Just go up north.
You receive loot. Find loose hair. You receive loot. Ruined leather scraps. You receive loot. Large flat tooth. You receive loot. Light leather.
I like
You
the
receive
low
loot.
FOV.
Severed
The
talent.
game was way different almost.
You receive loot. Light leathers 2.
I can just heart that when I'm up there. Ah, very good. No, 26,000 LP for this small. Scout popped. Man, I'm wiping up out here. I made like 200 million today. Oh my god, I'm doing well.
You receive loot. Light leather. You receive loot. Severed talon. You receive loot. Light leathers 2.
So question, can I start out like that? Oh, the item does not go in that slot. Yes, I can do that. And then I could put a dagger in the off. I could kill the guy that way, I guess, because it's a 50% ambush to open. But it's still really nerfy in terms of damage, kind of. No, I'll just fight him. I'll cheap shot him, and that will be the difference. He won't do any damage or anything. And then I'll just Thistle Tea and dump it into Slice and Dice right away. And Evasion. And then gouge him and bandage. All that stuff. Oh, my sprint's down to 3.5 minutes, huh? That's cool. That's better. A little bit better. Hmm. Horde guard. I'm horde. Yeah, just gonna make sure. lot of things here. North of the sludge fin. I should eat my dinner now. I feel like the road is where you'll see a patrol. I should have flown to the crossroads. It would have been... Well, I don't know. I went due north, and I think that's actually faster. Maybe the road would have been faster. I don't know. It might have been faster to approach from the left side than the right. I don't know. Nice. He's a little higher, but still kind of low compared to me. Prowler.
You receive loot, light leather.
There's a player killing scythe claws. Attack the leaper isn't here. There's the tower. I need to kill a drone. I have the key, but I don't have Galliwix's head. These things are... Oh, level 2. Ooh, yeah, that would have been bad. I do have to kill a drone, so I'm just going to sap one and kill the other. Invalid target. Not too bad. Not too good. Just making sure. Oh, he gave me like a poison, I guess. I don't know. Company drone. That was the drone. What do you mean, drone not slain? That was a Adventure Company drone. Oh, the drone. Oh! Level 30 elite. I almost aggroed him. Not so good. Mutate. Oh, mutate Adventure Company drone. Oh, okay, okay. Whoa. Oh, if I go out, I'll go left. I should bleed open. Oh, he was weak. He was weak to Garrote. Nice. Okay, there's the mutated drone. We're done with him. Then we need his head, which I can go all the way to the top. The second floor. Garrote or Rupture, and that's okay. As long as I open Rupture, it'll kill one of them instantly, which is good. If I can just get by them, I will. Patrollers. Lookout. Lookout. Oh. Okay. Now. I can sap him, but I don't know where the box is. Where's the box at? Oh, let's kill him. May have to vanish, or potion now, potion now.
You receive loot. Gallywix's head. You receive loot. Cache of Zanzil's altered mixture.
Okay, now we stealth up. We go downstairs. We stealth out the door. We sprint if I aggro. I don't think I'm going to aggro anything here. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'm done here, right? Yep. I don't have to do any of this. I can just go fucking Hearthstone. I don't have to do any of that. Nice! Success! I'm gonna eat my dinner now. I'll be right back. Okay, got some nice wieners. Oops. Perfect. Okay. There's those. Okay. Got this poison quest done, which makes my job much, much easier. You can start doing, like, probably really crippling poison. Crippling poison is what I really need, because, like, targets running is really, really bad. Yep. The Thistle Tea was worth it. It's worth it to get Thistle Tea, definitely. Recipe for Thistle Tea.
What's beyond your mind? Be seeing ya. Spirits beyond your mind.
Mission, possible but not probable, completed. Experience gained, 1950. You receive item, recipe, Thistle Tea.
Stay away from them.
You receive item, sample of Zanzil's altered mixture. Quest accepted, Hynot's assistance.
Recipe for Thistle Tea, which is super good.
You have learned how to create a new item, Thistle Tea.
Now they want me to go to Terran Mill. Oh, I don't know. Do I know poisons yet? I should just, like, visit the trainer.
What you want?
Just to see. I don't think you sell me poisons yet, right? Crippling poison, but you need poisons 1. Yeah, and I have to go back. Oh, I'm gonna eat my dinner now. Let this sprint run, cooldown run.
Originally, this video was supposed to come out of nowhere. We haven't seen from Pirate Software. He has not gotten himself in any drama for over 6 months at this point. Fortunately for me and all you viewers, he did end up shitting the bed and doing some dumb stuff in regards to the Ashes of Creation fallout that toppled over. But the main point of this video is I want to do a retrospective look over the main points, the main plot points, if you will, of Pirate Software's downfall. That is, at this point, absolutely what it is. We are going to be looking at the major controversies, starting with the OnlyFans guild drama that kind of started, then it A couple months later, the SKG initiative started up again. That brought a lot of Pirate Software's previous content into question, ends up delving into other bits. We're covering everything from that to the Heartbound code that ended up getting annualized, chatting with a former roommate of Pirate Software, and a few more of the dramas in between, and then tie it all together by taking a look at the stats. Where was he at the beginning of all this? What happened at the apex of it? And where is he now? Now, to wrap this all up, I know this doesn't sound coincidental, but I got very lucky, and I have been given the opportunity to sponsor a video here in the month of February. So if you'd like to support your favorite milkman, please enjoy the video and share it with your friends, family. Subscribe if you would like. We hit that 100K milestone, and the silver play button is on its way. So huge shout out to everyone that has subbed and have joined Quaker Nation on this journey. Additionally, give this video a like and perchance a hype. I know it does the most in boosting it in the algorithm. And lastly, before we get started, I want to quickly thank our partner, CyberGhost VPN, for sponsoring this video. I think everyone knows at this point you're being monitored every time you hop online, and even incognito mode doesn't always help in preventing that. Your internet service provider, your school or work's IT department, even your own home Wi-Fi router, they can all track what you do online, and that's where CyberGhost VPN comes in. Simply select one of over 100 locations before you browse to encrypt and reroute all of your traffic through their secure servers. This way, you keep the browsing you want private. CyberGhost also unlocks geo-restricted games and content from over 40 platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Disney Plus. And you can even score better deals online by just changing your virtual location. With over 38 million users worldwide and over 20,000 excellent reviews on Trustpilot, it's one of the best VPNs out there. And it works on all major devices and operating systems like Windows, Mac, iOS, Android, and you can protect up to 7 devices at the same time. Perfect for sharing with family and friends. With my link in the description below, you get their best deal ever. Just $2.03 a month plus 4 months free, which is 84% off. There's even a 45-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. It's a great product, and by signing up using our link in the description, you help not just support me, but the entirety of Quaker Nation. Thank you so much again to CyberGhost VPN for sponsoring.
Go back in.
Now,
I'll use
back to
this
the video.
first.
Now, I don't want to go into the time wasting of explaining what Pirate Software is. There are other people that have made incredible videos going over some of that intro of him kind of rising to fame, which is not the main focus of this video. So for the sake of saving your guys' time, I am attaching down below a Turkey video, as well as a Turkey Tom video that go over and do a much more in-depth analysis of all that intro stuff as well. I will additionally include a playlist down below that is all of my previous videos about Pirate Software. Now, to go over a year back now, the start of 2025, we have the OnlyFans WoW incident, the nexus for the soon-to-be downfall of Pirate Software. What did you expect me to do? I was out of mana. Now I'm going to show the main clips, sometimes clips from my videos covering this. But
I don't want to redo this whole thing again. I thought it was something new.
Dune Awakening has been a bit of a journey. It went from seriously high numbers at launch, people praising the game, right until pretty much the end game. Then the player base divided. You either loved it or you hated it. Then there were further changes. People either loved or hated them. And the player base slowly started dwindling drastically until now. A couple weeks ago, Chapter 3 came out and made some seriously good changes that have genuinely improved the game, made it easier for those that left to come back with things like return packages, recovery vehicle systems, and base reconstruction tools. So my friends and I decided we would also return to Dune Awakening. We would experience the endgame again, see if it had improved, make a carrier ornithopter, make a sand crawler, and experience systems that we never got to because we just burnt out on the game due to how everything was set up previously. You will see us succeed, finally.
Coming in.
But you will also see us dramatically fail. There's people here. Come on, zone change in 20 seconds. And I got eaten by the wall. This was our return to Dune Awakening. The first thing I did
behind this door, through this gate, and under these trees,
the drone wasn't able to fly where we wanted it to go.
It keeps dropping signal.
there is a real and actual secret society. A group of the most powerful, wealthy men in the world, going back over a century. The Bohemian Club is an invite-only, men-only social club in San Francisco that's long been the center of conspiracy theory.
Have you been there for the ceremony with the cremation of care? I don't think that's something I need to talk to you about.
Especially surrounding their yearly encampments at Bohemian Grove. Allegedly meant for the ultra-powerful to just relax and bro out.
SEAL Team 6 came, the lakeside talks. That's key.
This is where they would keep all of the sex workers during the Grove.
Presidents, CEOs, bankers, lobbyists, Supreme Court justices, CIA directors, and those are just the people who've been disclosed already. The full membership is meant to be completely private. But investigative reporter Daniel Boguslaw reached out to More Perfect Union with something wild.
This is every member of the Bohemian Club, and this is everyone who attended the 2023 summer encampment.
Even just the first few names I saw made me realize this is a story. Lots of people have already tried to enter the Grove or generally reveal its secrets, exposing the supposed occult rituals that go on.
It's just going to be a
outside.
bunch of buildings
I'm Alex Jones, and I snuck in there in 2000.
But we wanted to know, what does any of this actually mean for the rest of us Americans who aren't part of this elite club? I get that they do weird rituals, but how is that my problem? So Dan and I went to California to investigate. We talked to workers from the Grove, a woman who has been protesting the Grove for nearly half a century and spent way too much time digging through old documents in hotel rooms. And what we found is almost scarier than any occult ritual. I know there's a lot of other stuff going on right now in the news, but investigating the Grove explains a lot of things that are broken in our economy and how the power structures of our country have empowered small groups of influential rich people who have been driving policy decisions behind closed doors for generations. And among many other things, we'll be reporting for the first time the involvement of a current senator.
There it is. Weaving spiders come not here.
Let's go back to 1872. The Bohemian Club was started as a hangout for local journalists before growing and admitting artists and intellectuals, and eventually admitting rich guys, because those other guys don't have any money. They could eventually afford this 6-story building on the edge of the Tenderloin. The building itself offers little information. Drawn blinds, no one coming in or out. But the club started hosting summer encampments in the NorCal Redwoods in 1878, eventually moving them to the massive Bohemian Grove. The encampment's secrecy and notorious rituals, like burning a giant effigy in tribute to an owl statue, they're really big on owls, have made the event a magnet for conspiracy.
Tomorrow's a good day. Tomorrow's midnight day. I go to my dentist at 12:30. I'm probably there until for like an hour, I don't know, and then, or maybe 2 hours. Maybe it's a longer one. I can't remember.
You are now AFK, away from keyboard.
And then I'm going to go shopping and get some more sausage because they have a good deal right now. I really didn't realize how good that deal is. They've got on sausage, and hopefully it's still there, although it's been 6 days. I don't know. Maybe they don't have it on deal anymore. I'll buy some more sausage and some beer and some milk and some yogurt, and I will come home, and it'll be like 2:30. I'll drink beer. I'll play hardcore until
you are no longer AFK.
I'll play hardcore until until the midnight starts, and then I'll play midnight all night. It'll be fun as hell. Wait, is this not the right place? This is the wrong place. I went up the fucking wrong thing. Reagents vendor. I went to the wrong one. Oh, I did. Oops. So where I'm going is around. Need to pick my teeth because I'm seeing the dentist tomorrow. And a sausage stuck in my teeth. I think it's just a checkup on some work I did like 6 months ago. But yeah. I have to go to Terran Mill, which I don't think I have Terran Mill. That's in South Shore. Terran Mill. Let me think about that. Oh yeah, that's on the other continent. Yeah. I've got to go to Terran Mill. I have been to Hillsbrad, but now I need to go back to Ratchet to go to Booty Bay. I want to keybind. Control M. That's okay. That wasn't working for me. Oh, okay. Now it is. No, that's not working for me. Ugh. No, my control key isn't working. It's like it won't let me do control M for whatever reason. Let me do control spacebar, but not control M for whatever. So shift M. Excuse me. You know, I'd like to get these items on sale, but I guess I can do that.
Dan acquired was for attendance at an encampment nearly 150 years later.
I went to the bay. I found a guy who I knew would have the list. I kept showing up to his office until he finally agreed to give it to me. This is the original list of 2017 full membership list of everyone who's part of the club. Subsequently, I was able, through those connections, to get more and more, and that's where we got the 2023 Grove encampment.
And the list is massive. Broken down into the smaller camps the members are split up into. But it's a totally overwhelming amount of information. Any name we researched was tied to something. So at first, it was hard for us to draw specific conclusions and connections. But then Dan got in touch with a source who put us on the right track.
We'd love to talk to you about the club there.
Be prepared because I've been archiving and it's cold out here. I have no heat, so come with a good jacket.
Mary Moore, who lives not too far from the Grove, has been protesting and researching it for decades, long before Alex Jones even got his public access ship.
Somebody came up and gave me a membership list, knowing that I was an activist. So we used it to research who was making the profit. These are the guys that prefer to work behind the scenes as much as they can. My purpose back then was to make people in the movement understand all our issues are connected by who profits from them.
So what modern issues can we tie directly back to the Grove? What was literally planned at the Grove that affects us today? There's decades of information. Reagan and Nixon specifically loved sending letters about their favorite secret society. But a few things in particular stuck out to me. How they rigged our economy and broke certain programs that we're only now seeing the effect of. How they established a vast dark money lobbying network. How they set up a tax heist scheme to funnel taxpayer dollars directly to executives. How they ruined the very city they're headquartered in. And how they hold on to the power. Let's start small and specific with the rigged economy. This little tidbit is from the Reagan Library, and as far as I can tell, we're the first to unearth it. It's a memo to Alan Greenspan from Edwin Harper, who's an assistant to the president, saying, "You asked for the paper we discussed at the Bohemian Grove," and it's this document called Social Security Reform.
You received loot.
This
Ross
is from
Litterskin Mackerel.
1981. In 1983, the Reagan administration did reform Social Security. They made cuts that are still affecting us today. So I reached out to an expert, Alex Lawson at Social Security Works, who sent me one of my favorite emails to receive, which just said, "Your thesis is completely correct. This cut to Social Security was planned at Bohemian Grove. And this is something that's going to be affecting like our generation." But that's not the only Reagan policy to come straight from the Grove. This one book tells the story of a Reagan advisor being persuaded to cut capital gains taxes by iconic investor Bill Draper, while they, quote, sat semi-naked at the Grove. That little change is what enabled the high-risk investment model of the venture capital business, which spawned the tech industry as we know it today. Draper was on the 2023 attendee list, still attending the Grove 42 years later, as was his son Tim Draper, also in venture capital.
You received
That's
loot.
another
Oily
important
black
part of this, the generational membership. Families that have been passing on power for generations, both in the form of wealth and these connections. And one of these families founded one of the most influential groups in American history. That's dark money.
Do any of these names ring a bell?
Charles Koch, obviously.
You received loot. Roaring Bowfin Albacore.
P. Coors is the son of Joseph Coors Sr., himself the son
P.
of
Coors?
all three of the Coors beer empire.
Oh, no wonder. I was like, I've never been able to understand that the Coors family is dead up in
The real legacy of Coors isn't beer. Joseph co-founded and funded
the Heritage
in
Foundation.
1976. Heritage is part of a network that has influenced, led, and funded pro-corporate politics for decades, all of which are connected to the club through funding, founders, or board members and directors. Heritage was immensely powerful during the Reagan administration and had huge influence on his policy. Charles Koch, synonymous with anti-worker political spending, obviously attends the Grove. And remember when Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas got caught taking lavish gifts from Club for Growth lead Harlan Crow? One of those gifts was a trip to Bohemian Grove. Heritage founder Coors Sr. is long dead, but his co-founder, Edwin Fulner, is on the attendance list for the Grove in 2023, when he would have been 82 years old, and he was on the board of Heritage until he died in late 2025. But there's one family that's more deeply tied to the Bohemian Club and elite collusion than any other. That brings us to tax heist. The Bechtel family incorporation isn't a household name, but they're one of the wealthiest families and largest private corporations in the world. There
You received
are
loot.
two
Roaring
Bechtels
Bowfin Albacore.
on our list, and the family has been involved for generations. Here's Stephen Bechtel Sr. at camp with Henry Kissinger, which came with a cute little memo from Bechtel to Kissinger. The Bechtel Corporation works in massive construction projects, the kinds a government needs to pay for. This is just a partial list of people who sit in the center of the Bechtel.
So, Coors lives, like, in my memory as living up in Golden, Colorado at the top of 6th. 6th goes all the way up for a while. And then it ends, well, it doesn't end, but it passes Golden, Colorado, which is like the most beautiful town of Colorado almost. It's like close to it. And it's right down by Denver, which is why Coors chose to build their brewery there. They've got a brewery there. And that's the Duff Brewery. They kind of made fun of it in The Simpsons, but it is the Coors Brewery. And you can go and get a tour. I've done it before. It's so fun. And you know, it's an amazing place. And I lived in a hotel out there in Golden on and off when I was in my bandit phase. And my ex-girlfriend, she was a stripper and she really liked the hotel out there and she would beg me to go out there, so we did. There's two really good hotels right across the street from each other out there. Really beautiful place. We used to go to the oh god, what's it called? The I would say the Hyatt. Yeah, I believe it was a Hyatt. Yeah, or not, it wasn't a Hyatt. It was extended stay green or something. I forget the name of it, but it's like a special extended stay. It's a little bit more specialty. Oh, I'm in Booty Bay. I didn't want to go to Booty Bay. Damn it. And I think of the Coors Brewery being overshadowing Denver and kind of like being the gem of its crown. And it kind of nestles over the valley, and it's the most beautiful, like, little country western town. And I remember we used to go do Stampede night at the bar out there, and I don't remember the name of the bar out there anymore, but it was really fun. I used to bring my friends to that because if you can't find a girl by 1 a.m., you aren't looking. You know, and they're all drinking, and they drink for free. Is why it's called Stampede Hour, because from the hours of what is it like? It's like from midnight till 1 or whatever. Women drink free as much as they can drink. It is brilliant. It's a brilliant marketing thing, and but anyways, really amazing place, Golden, and I think of it very fondly. I've spent some time out there. But yeah, there was some place that the rich wanted to go that was connected to a major city and a major airport, but still far away from people where they leave you alone, and it doesn't have the freakdom that California does, or the Haight-Ashbury, or any of the presence that California does. But it's still a really modern, hippy-dippy city with a lot of culture and stuff, Denver. Peter Thiel moved there. Coors lives there. You're constantly aware that there's money there. Like Park Hill is actually really nuts. Like they all buy apartments downtown so they can do something when they're in downtown shopping and stuff. They just, like, the rich people come into town. You can see them do it. They come in with their expensive ass fucking SUVs from up, down 6th and stuff, and they choke all the fucking highways and stuff. And they get into town, and you can see them. They like park at their fucking apartment that they own down there, and they stay there shopping, and then they leave. And it's crazy, and it, like, and I used to take a lot of them as taxi drivers and stuff. And a taxi driver can do fairly well in Denver because everything's so far apart. And the only people who call taxi cabs are people with money. So if they're going anywhere, they're probably going to spend like $25 or $30, which isn't that bad hourly, Shit, now I'm back at Ratchet. Did I ride the wrong boat? I must have. Is there two? No, this boat.
Time is money, friend. Keep it real.
Am I thinking about this wrong? Do I have to go to... Oh, do I have to go to Theramore? Oh, I do. Have I actually been to this continent? I've revealed the map. Yeah, but oh yeah, you take a Zeppelin from Ogrimmar. Right. Well then, let's get off. This will just take me back to Booty Bay. I thought it connected to Theramore, no? No, that's Theramore and Manethil. If I want to get to Theramore, I'll have to fly to Theramore. And have I been to Theramore? Yeah, I believe I have. I think. I don't know. Uh-oh. Oh no, is it a player? Nope. So, how do I get out there? It's... Yeah, the Zeppelin goes to Undercity from Ogrimmar, so I'll have to ride out or I have to go back to Ogrimmar, probably tomorrow. Or I could just fly back.
You receive loot. Oily black mouth.
Hell executives, government, Bohemian Club member Venn diagram. Caspar Weinberger, George Schultz, Edwin Meese, John McCone. McCone invented the concept of cost plus for government contractors. The system where contractors tell the government how much something costs, then get a little profit treat on top of that. Because the contractor determines the cost, they have no reason to keep costs down, especially surrounding executive pay. It's screwed us on everything from how much of our tax dollars go to the wealthy to Medicare Advantage. Then, in the early 2000s, the US invaded Iraq. Driven by club members like George W. Bush, Dick Cheney, Donald Rumsfeld, and Colin Powell. Bechtel got paid millions to clean up the mess. Since so much of this was planned at the Grove, we had to see the place,
Oily black
where
mouth.
the slogan is supposedly "Weaving spiders come not here," which implies they aren't supposed to be doing business there. So what exactly are they doing up there? So we drove over.
No trespassing violators will be prosecuted.
And again, we're met with nothing but a security booth and some strange issues with our drone.
It keeps dropping signal. Pretty weird. I mean, I haven't seen this much interference.
It's not Grove season after all. But talking to some folks in the neighboring town, Monte Rio, had a lot to teach us.
At my old job, we used to point to the mountain where the property is, and then the people of the Grove came and told us that we can't say that.
But then Dan got a call that could give us an inside view.
Where I come from, it's kind of a rite of passage to work at the Bohemian Grove.
Two former employees of the Grove, a driver and a skeet shooting instructor, were down to talk to us, but wanted to stay anonymous.
It's all kind of structured in a way so that the members don't really have to see any of the workers. We don't have to interact with them. They're not supposed to interact with them. So what I saw was a picture of the entire cast of their production of Macbeth with Colin Powell as the lead.
What?
Which all seems just kind of weird and lame, right?
It's cheesy. I don't think these guys are spending every day thinking about how they can fuck up the environment and the world consciously, but it's got to be nice to have a little respite from doing that.
Monte Rio is the poorest town in Sonoma County.
The cost of living out here has become unbelievable. It's almost as expensive to live out here as it is to live in San Francisco proper.
Similar is true of the area back in the city around their clubhouse.
They do that to wherever they go.
Tenderloin is the poorest part of SF.
It's how they keep the poor people away from them.
National discussion about housing prices, crime, and homelessness, in a state that's been a hot point regarding taxing the rich, which brings us back to Dan's list.
So Dan, what's the name of this big SF advocacy group?
It's called Neighbors for a Better San Francisco. At one point, I believe still was the biggest big dollar spender in local SF politics. This group is spending on city council races, mayor races, trying to sway ballot measures, ballot initiatives.
Nick Podell?
Yep.
William Oberndorf?
Yep.
Stephen Merrill?
Bingo.
This thing's basically just an offshoot of the Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, this is Atwater. He's the founder and former chairman. of Prime Finance. You know, he was one of the big backers of this neighbors group.
They most recently focused their spending fighting a ballot measure that would have marginally increased property taxes on the most wealthy to fund affordable housing. And top donor William Oberndorf, who used his charitable foundation to donate $2,000 to Make-A-Wish Foundation and $200,000 to Neighbors. And Neighbors, like Heritage or any of these ghoulish national organizations, is just one part of a network of linked organizations sharing a small pool of donors and board members across the city. But let's zoom back out nationally. Mary said something that made me curious about the power of the Grove today.
Trump is not welcome at the Grove. He tried to join. He's not a member. He's not on the list, you'll see.
No, they wouldn't talk to him.
But the Trump agenda is still inherently tied to the Bohemian Club. This is how they held on to power. Back in New York, Dan and I started digging into the influence of the club on today's administration and politics.
I found this clip of Ed Fuellner, who was one of the founders, and he's been attending the Grove for years. He was on your list in 2023. He did die a little bit after this, but here he is just a few months before that meeting of the Grove.
Tomorrow, at our celebration, we'll be introducing Mandate for Leadership 7, called Project 2025, Mandate for Leadership, the Conservative Promise. A sincere thank you from this old man who was around the first time it all happened.
The first time it all happened, that's, you know, going into the Reagan administration and making all the changes that we're still facing today to make our lives more difficult today.
And it goes to show these people's ability to reconsolidate power, right? They didn't get the guy they wanted the first time around. They didn't let Trump in, but they were still able to weasel their way in and craft his policy book.
In the months that Project 2025 was being written, the board of the Heritage Foundation was like a quarter Bohemian Club guys. But it goes even further. On our 2023 list, in Mandalay, the same camp as Michael Bloomberg and Henry Kissinger, for whom this would be the last Grove, is another name, David McCormick. At the time, McCormick was but a simple hedge fund billionaire who'd tried to run for Senate in Pennsylvania before being defeated by Dr. Oz in the primary. But just 2 months after this encampment, he announced he was running again, and this time he won. So I compared our attendee list to McCormick's donors. 11 men in Mandalay camp donated to McCormick's campaign, and that's not even including the ones who gave through dark money channels. As senator, McCormick was part of an announcement with President Trump for a big push for AI investment in Pennsylvania, data centers and power plants. At the same event was this guy, Brendan Bechtel, the latest family CEO and heir to the Bechtel fortune. Bechtel is poised to get billions in construction contracts from this deal. Funneling money and power to Bechtel seems as important to the Trump administration as it did to earlier administrations. Bechtel is getting big deals with foreign companies for U.S. construction, brokered by Trump. They have money tied up in the Venezuelan pipelines Trump wants to seize from the Venezuelan people. And they've been floated as a beneficiary of the Kushner-Trump plan to rebuild Gaza. We're seeing a level of collusion among the ultra-wealthy that seems almost unbeatable. They are all on the same team. They are all protecting each other. It's not even about party politics. Paul Pelosi, Nancy's husband, is on the list, as is his nephew, who works for Harlan Crow, as are several major centrist and Democratic Party donors. They have class solidarity, but so do we. A tenants union was organized specifically to fight against John Atwater's Prime Realty. And they've had big wins because they organized every building that Prime owns. Even workers at the Grove had a win. A class action lawsuit by Grove valets alleging wage theft, misclassification, and other labor violations went in favor of the workers.
I won some money recently in a class action about wage theft.
They weren't counting the overtime of the employees.
The whole world is moving towards understanding
1.3 mil.
That we all need to work together.
Or sorry, 1.3 bill.
But knowing the truth, the connectedness, can help bring power back to everyone else. And we only scratch the surface here. We'll be releasing the full list, so you can dig through yourself, Let us know what you find and reach out to us at stories@perfectunion.us. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Graviborn the Elder completed. You receive item, Coin of Ancestry.
I found my niche. I could pay I will pay for my account with Faction Warfare. I didn't know what my goal was, but it took me a while.
You receive loot, Stringy Wolf Meat. You receive loot, Fractured Canine. You receive loot, Light Leather.
Hello, Cavalier. My name is Gildy, and welcome, EVE Online. Factional Warfare, the playground of empires. Struggle for valuable solar systems? Or maybe it's just a way to give Capsuleers something to do, so that they fight each other and push front lines back and forth, rather than wreak chaos in safer empire space. Regardless of what is the reason for it, Factional Warfare is the easiest and best PvP content a new player can get into to build upwards, get skills, while they also get ISK needed to keep going rather than stop PvP every other day, grind the ISK back up. Of course, there is a lot of moving parts to this content, both PvP and PvE. What systems you can expect fights in, where the loyalty points, or LP for short, will be best, as you don't get direct ISK, but LP in Factional Warfare, which you can exchange for items to sell, and how to wrap your head around all of this. This video will provide you with the basics of Factional Warfare, allow you to recognize sites, what ships they let in, and what is their goal, as well as the overall goal of the Factional Warfare gameplay loop and the mechanics surrounding that. In future videos, I will look into more complex mechanics, show off special sites, and all I learned myself taken part in the Caldari Galente Gurista struggle. So, what's the goal of the Factional Warfare?
accepted.
If you go to your
Fireworks.
agency, Encounters, Factional Warfare tab, you can open the window that gives you a brief overview. In short,
Dark
you can
Court Elder
enlist
completed.
with a faction of your choice
You receive
and
item,
help them
coin of
capture
ancestry.
low-sec systems from the enemy militia. You can do so by capturing sites in systems visible on the Factional Warfare map. You need to, of course, keep in mind that first and foremost, the moment you enlist with a faction, you become a valid target to the opposing militias regardless of the space you are in at the moment, and
That could have been
Concord
death.
won't help you. So you need to be prepared before jumping into this content. We'll talk about prep a bit later. Secondly, most of the content will be in low-sec, so not only enemy militias, but in general neutral players can also hunt you in there, but we're here to go and do PvP, right? Capturing systems can be done by completing sites called complexes, plexes for short, and the activity is commonly referred to as plexing. Each captured system requires a sum of victory points, and your goal is to get up to 75,000 victory points in enemy systems bordering yours, while preventing the enemies from getting that same amount in systems controlled by your chosen empire. You can see what side gives what amount of victory points on the screen right now, and I'll talk about what those site names mean when the time is right. The moment system hits the required amount of victory points, its infrastructure hub, or iHub, becomes vulnerable to bashing. Then, militia players
Option
gather
created.
together and bash it down to make
Option
the
created.
system their own. Because of this dynamic, we have two types of plexing. Deplexing, doing so defensively in systems controlled by your own faction. This means that you slide into
Option
the site
created.
and can do any of them because the rat inside is friendly to you, and you just sitting in there within the 30-kilometer capture ring will lower the site timer down to 0 and contribute victory points that get subtracted from the enemy faction, which you can see as the system contest percent going down. Moreover, you receive LP of your faction to spend later. Note here is that you get at most 75% of LP, which a site should pay out this way, and the lower the contest percent is in a system, the lower the amount of LP you will get, which is to encourage more offensive action. You can also see the formula for defensive plexing LP on the screen, and I'll talk about the LP amounts in a moment. And then there is regular offensive plexing. For this, you need to go into systems controlled by enemy faction, slide into the sites and destroy the NPC defender in that site, and stay within the 30-kilometer ring till the timer goes to 0. The defender will keep respawning at random between 90 and 180 seconds every time you blow him up. The other side of factional warfare is of course
Bid
to
accepted.
prevent the enemies from
You want an option
plexing
for greater
and
healing potion.
deplexing, hunting them down and blowing them up, as that's also a valid way to gain LP. Not only you get the loot from ships you destroy, but you get LP based on the value of the ship you blew up, so pure PvP action can also slowly but surely provide you with means to get ISK. Now, let's talk sites. What they are, what their names mean, what's the payouts, and does the system you are in affect how much LP you get. You can divide the sites in a few ways. First and foremost, you have the NVY and ADV sites. NVY stands for Navy, which means that a site with that name allows for Tech 1 Empire and Navy ships, so all Caldari, Minmata, Amar and Galente Tech 1 and their Navy variants. ADV stands for Advanced, meaning that Tech 2, Tech 3 and Pirate ships can get into those sites. This can be quite useful if you see someone running Tech 2 ships in a system and trying to hunt you. If you don't feel like taking a fight you're likely to lose, you can slide into Navy sites and deny them the opportunity or force them to ship down for a more even fight. Then we have division into size categories. Scout site has a 10-minute timer, the NPC defender there is a frigate, and it allows frigate-sized ships in. Small site has a 10-minute timer, the NPC defender is a destroyer, and it allows destroyers and smaller ships to get in. Medium site has a 15-minute timer, NPC defender is a cruiser, and it allows cruisers and smaller ships to get in. Large site has a 15-minute timer, NPC defender is a battle cruiser, and it allows for battleships and smaller ships to get in. Lastly, from regular sites we have open complexes. They have a 15-minute timer, NPC defender is again a battle cruiser, and it allows all ships to enter it as there is no gate to enter this complex. Here, one note for ship size in the advanced sites. Tech-free ships can only enter sites of a size larger than they are, so tech-free destroyers can enter medium sites and larger, and tech-free cruisers can access large and open sites. Next thing to decipher is the number next to the site name. If it's 1, that means that the site will give the full LP payout to a single person. And if you see 2, 3 or 4, it means that up to that many people will get paid out fully. Open complexes in regular faction warfare pay out fully up to 5 players. Lastly, where you run a site also influences the LP payout you get. Rearguard systems are supposed to be just a safe and quiet area for an empire, so they have minus 99% LP payout multiplier to discourage farming. Command operation systems are the second system just behind front lines, and they give you the base LP payout that you can see on the screen, and going to front lines is encouraged by paying out 150% of the base value. Okay, so we went over the rewards, what sites to get into, but how do you join factional warfare and how to get your rewards? Enlisting is quite easy. Dock in any station that has militia office of the faction you want to join, hit the factional warfare button and enlist by choosing either Empire sides or Pirates for Insurgency. I covered insurgencies in the past and what they are, and will link the playlist on the screen and in the video description. For this example, I want to enlist Caldari, so I choose Empire, Caldari State and hit Enlist Me. This is what is called direct enlistment, allowing you to get in and out of the content. You can then get out of factional warfare by docking and retiring from it, which starts a 24-hour timer to enlist again. Other way of enlisting is joining corporation that is enlisted at all times. If your station does not have the facilities for factional warfare, the enlist button will change into initiate enlistment, letting you know where you need to fly to enlist. In order to enlist directly, you need to have at least 0.0 base standing before any skills are applied with the faction you want to enlist for. You can find that in your profile, interactions, standings. Hover over the faction you want to check to get the information on what your base standings are. If you need to fix your standings, you can run missions to get storyline ones, which give you faction standings. If you want another way, I covered speedrunning faction standing gain with career agents in the past. Link will be on the screen and in video description. And now, for something completely different, preparation. As I mentioned already, enlistment means that you can be shot in any space. So, before you enlist, find a front line you want to get into and bring several ships of your choosing as close to that front line as you feel comfortable, either on the last high-sec system or in some low-sec NPC station in rearguard systems of your own empire. And it's important to be in your empire systems, because once you enlist, you can only dock on your side of factional warfare and in frontline systems of both sides. You cannot store ships and access them in enemy rearguard, for example. And what ships to choose? There is a lot to choose from. If you need inspiration for some underdog ships or need straight up fits and advice on how to fly them, I cannot recommend Frigate Yearbook enough. It's a massive compendium of ships, fits, approach to PvP, so check it out. Link will be in video.
Link is not in the video.
The description. Lastly, as I teased, you get LP, not ISK, for or need straight up fits and advice on how to fly them. I cannot recommend frig.
Comet, Loki, Hecate, Kikimora, Hookbill, and Proteus. I like Kikimoras, they're cheap.
You receive item. Greater healing potions 3.
What would you ask of death? Trust
Quest
no
accepted.
one.
The Decrepit Fairy. Quest accepted. Deathstalkers and Shadow Fang.
I have exactly what you need. Beware the living.
Alright, I believe this is a solid place to log. I'll make my way to Terra Mill to turn in the poison quests probably tomorrow. I need to go to the bathroom, and then I will come back and I will play for a little while longer, I guess. So, but I will leave it here in case I get ganked. You guys can at least see it. Yep. And yeah, and then I will title videos and go to bed. But I will go to the restroom first. So I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Okay, hi guys. Sorry about that. I am back to go post the rest of my video here. Gonna leave here. Kind of brain dead and tired. Hi, I'm Skycatlive. I'm going to leave here just a few minutes after I post my videos to my YouTube channel. You've been watching Skycatlive. Come to my YouTube channel. Come to my website. It's skycat.live and click on the cast face to donate. It's a PayPal link. Come to the Twitch or YouTube. Give me a like, sub, or follow. And thank you so much for your time, guys. I will see you tomorrow for the WoW midnight release, and I'm looking forward to it. I had a lot of fun tonight. Before I go, I will move to another thing if there is one. Yeah, there is one, I think. And I'll try and cap another site. Doing so good with this. Now, run south through the thing. I guess that might be better, huh? Yeah, that might be better, but I don't know. I don't mind making the trip over. Oh, cluster shut down in 5. Damn it. Oh well, that changes the timing of this. So go home. It's the end of the shift, so I'm going to stop this video here. Thank you guys, and I will post it.